See how you did. I'm curious. All right, so we've got a basketball team. I'm telling you what the variables are, right? Number of cars, number of vans. So the implicit constraint, I'm just gonna make sure that's done. You get half a mark for that. And let's follow the inequalities here. If you use different colors, right? There's a restriction on the spending, right? 4250. So I'm going to use the dollar amounts given here in front of each variable. So 250x plus 400y, that has to be less than or equal to 4250. That would be a 1 marker right there. Okay. Then you have how many passengers, right? Up to 100. If it just said can carry 120 passengers, right? That's still the same. So we know that we can fit 5 in every car and 12 in every van, and that has to be less than or equal to 120. Okay. And then the last one says you must rent at least 4 vans. So this is specifically to just the y variable. At least, so y is greater than or equal to 4. So I give you 1 mark for each inequality and then half a mark for the implicit constraint. Okay. I think the mark here is going to change for the graph because there's a lot of work required. I think I'm going to be okay with you calling this 1, 2, 3, okay? To save you some space. So if you just want to start with IQ1 and find the intercepts, I'm just going to tell you what those are. If I use the same, make sure I get the same one. It's 17, 0, and 10, sorry, 0, 10.625, or 6.3. Both are okay. And rewritten, it looks like this. Because the finite, I can just state it like that. This would be solid. True is below. We shade above. Okay. Let's give some decent marks here. So I give you 1 for the intercepts and 1 for rewriting and telling me where you're shading. For inequality 2, this one here, the intercepts are, yikes, that is small, 24, 0, and 0, 10. You get a mark for that. That's for that second inequality, 5x plus 12y. I give you a mark for that. Rewriting that gets you this plus 10. So then you would say solid shading. Why is it solid? It's always solid with word problems. Yes, I know. I just try to keep the format, right? We used to not have word problems and it would be dashed versus solid, right? So, sorry, I can't do 2 things at the same time. Anyways, true is below, we shade above, right? So for this part, you would get another mark for rewriting it correctly. And then the last inequality is easy, right? Y is greater than or equal to 4. We have solid, true is above, we will shade below. So in this case, we have no vertical. So I would just give you 1 mark for that, because you don't really have to rewrite or do anything of that. So this would be number of cars, number of vans, number of, and mine won't look as pretty as yours. I'm just looking at my intercepts, 17, 24. So if I go all the way to something like 30, that would be fine. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So 10, 20, 30, okay? And then my Y, 10.610, that'll do it. So I can actually go with a bigger scale here. That'd be 5 there, 10 there, okay? If you wanted to. So it'll look a little different than mine. So I'll do the horizontal here first. This is Y is greater than or equal to 4. Then you have the 17. 17 is right about there. 0 is just above 10 here. That's that one. This is, which one is easier to write? I don't know. There you go. And then the other one is 0, 10 right there. Add 10, and then 24, 0 would be there. And then so you connect those two. And this line is 5x plus 12y is less than or equal to 120. So you've got everything labeled. So now it's shading time. Okay, so you go underneath the horizontal. You go above both of the other ones, right? So above this one, everything above it is gone, and above this one. And my graph, you're gonna have to be very careful, but that's why you have your calculator to help you out. But my solution region is in here, and so it'd be this intersection, right? Those two lines meet, so that's a point of intersection. So this, and that. So there are 4 corner points surrounding my solution region. I will give you, just for the graph, I'm going to give you 2 for that today. So let's get rid of this 3.5 to not mix things up, right? The 3.5 for B, we're going to re-evaluate here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'd rather it be worth more than to just do half here, half there, right? So just give everything 1 mark, and then it's a little easier. So if you didn't label at all, like if you forgot 1 label, just take off half. If you didn't, you need to label your solution region because we're doing reverse shading, right? That's why we need to say this is it. So there we go. So if you missed any labels, minus half. You forgot the solution, minus half. If you don't have appropriate scale, if it's a wrong scale, then -1, unfortunately. So that's how it goes. All right, corner points. They're worth a lot of marks, so make sure you take your time, right? So I already went ahead and typed in all my equations. There's no vertical line, so good. We don't have to worry about that. So these 2 I can read. So I'm just going to state those first, the intercepts. So it'd be 0, 4, as well as 0, 10. The 10.625 is outside, right? The one that's just above this one, it's close, but it's not surrounding the solution region. So this one, this would be half and half. Just get half a mark for each of those. And then you would get 1 mark for each of the other ones. So here we go, second trace 5. I'm going to intersection between the black and the blue there, enter. Got to jump to the black line, enter, enter. So that's 10.64, okay, 10.64. And then the other one is the intersection between the red and the blue. So I'm just going to hit enter. It jumps to the red one, perfect. That'd be 8.75. How are we doing there? I hope you're doing okay so far. So I would give you 1 for each, but then we'll take off half a mark if you didn't round them. Okay, so this would be 11.4, and this would be 3.9. Discrete, right? So 1 for each of these, but then take off half if you didn't round. So this page ends up being 13.5 because of the reallocation of marks. So 3 for the corner points, 7 for the graph and all that, and 3.5 for the writing the inequalities and stuff like that. All right. Backside. Write the inequality. For this, assume regular shading. That means this is true. That's what that tells us. Okay. And so I have my intercept, which is, you got to be careful. This is 1, 2, 3, right? This is positive 3, I should say. So dashed true above, which means I need to start like this. That's 1 mark already. Then I need to figure out my slope. I know that this is plus 3x. I need to figure out my slope. So I think this is safe to say to take this one. So this is 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 3, 5. And this is negative because the line is dropping. And you're like, I counted each box. You get the same answer, I'm pretty sure. Right? Because this would be 6 and this would be 10. 6 over 10 is still 3 over 5. So you get the same. You're lucky because both have the same scale. If they're not the same scale, which I don't think will happen, I don't think you need to worry about that, but if they had different scales, then you'd be in trouble. Okay. All right, 2 marks for this one. And so 13.5, 2, that's 15.5. A weird final mark, but that's okay. Nothing my spreadsheet cannot handle. Name and last name, pass it forward.